When we look at the successive planes of development, I invite the parents to appreciate the three major facets of growth areas of our children we all should be watchful of. Allow me to quote from Scripture. And Jesus grew in wisdom. One growth area is the intellect or the cognitive growth. He grew in stature, which means physical growth or psychomotor growth, and in favor with God and men, which is your spiritual and social growth, which both can be classified under affective growth. So there you have it for easy recall: head, hand, and heart. These are the three facets of growth. What we would like to do now is to highlight the sensitivities that happen in these facets of growth: cognitive, physical, and affective, as the child moves across the spectrum of development planes, first, second, and third planes. So what we will see next is really a matrix. Now, the planes of development define the sensitive periods, another Montessori jargon. Of the sensitive period, Montessori observes, and I quote, "It comes for a moment, but its benefits last for a lifetime." This means certain characteristics in a child will only happen for a brief period of time and they have a lasting effect. What is the implication? Well, if we miss them or mess with them, it is to the detriment of the child's development. Remember, childhood is always a point of arrival and departure. We do not come back to it. We will now track the sensitivities across the development spectrum per growth area. Cognitively, the first plane child exhibits an absorbent mind and an effortless, intense concentration. They amazingly lock in onto something even if the environment around them is distracting. They are also very sensitive to language. Whatever your language at home is, they seem to magically acquire it without having to enroll in a formal language class. They are also sensitive to order, a foundational sensitivity to logical thinking. Now, when parents are interviewed what kind of questions their children ask by second plane, the hands down answer is why? Am I right? Every child around that age will ask you why, isn't it? When parents give the answer, granting they know the answer, what kind of question will be the next question? Why again? Regardless of class, creed, or color, they seek for reasons and purposes of things around them. The mind becomes naturally inquisitive, they ask why. Imaginative, they ask why not. And reasoning, they ask how come. Now, what do you think the mind of the adolescent will exhibit? If things around me have reasons and purposes, that's your second plane mind, then what is possibly the question of the adolescent? Let me pause there so that we can also think about it because we've been there. Now, Montessori suggests this mind becomes reflective and interpretive. If things around me have reasons, then what is my reason? If things around me have purposes, then what is my purpose? We go now to the second facet of growth, physical or psychomotor. The first plane child needs to develop what we call gross and fine motor skills. By second plane, the child runs and climbs and cartwheels, stability. Then you have another unstable development plane, just like the first plane, because the third plane adolescent exhibits rapid growth accompanied by hormonal moodiness. And then puberty sets in, which is the ability of the human body to sexually reproduce. Affectively, the first plane children are largely egocentric. They won't share. Am I right? Yet by second plane, the egocentricity of the first plane surrenders to the social child. We also see the emergence, and this is very important, my dear parents, the emergence of moral awareness. Their sense of what is right and what is wrong, and what is fair and unjust, comes naturally. The third plane adolescent, just before becoming an adult, begins to reflect on his purpose and his mission. Remember? If things around me have reasons, then what is my reason and what is my purpose? They are not self-conscious about this. In the same manner, the second plane children are not even aware. They're asking why. Hand in hand with a reflective mind, and the adolescent will experience an evolving sense of dignity, which is self-worth, and a sense of justice, which is an affective component that pertains to a community that surrounds the adolescent. In Montessori, the hot spots of growth are the first plane and third plane, meaning we need to tread carefully in these planes of development. By the fourth plane, formative education or development matures, and university years are simply years of specialization. I want to be a doctor, an artist, a chef, an engineer, a business person, a graphic artist. Those are specialization, but the adult has already been formed. You have the young adult. There are no more sensitivities that will be distinctly unique and uniquely happening in this plane. Now, you have heard me saying Montessori makes a lot of common sense. And why? Well, because what she's observed, most of them, we actually already observe in our children. But I think it takes a genius to bring out what we commonly cannot connect, and then to tell us what to do or what not to do with what we commonly see. This thing of telling us what to do or what not to do, I believe is the genius and the legacy of Dr. Maria Montessori. And she's put this all together in a very scientific way. She's observed the children for many, many years all through her life. And she tells us, let me tell you how you can prepare the environment.